talk about anything.
But you're a great host. That's what I'm saying. I saw some really great qualities there. The way you make people open up and do some research. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and the water's free, so you know.
That's good. I didn't know that one. So
cheers.
Cheers to that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
There's no opening fee. You can have it.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I've done a couple shows with you, and they're always fun. As they say in the biz, you're a good hang.
Thank you.
Very professional. In fact, I like the show that you do in Lexington, and then we go out for drinks or whatever afterwards. So that's always a good time. What got you, like, I'm curious, like, what got you into comedy? Because you're a storyteller too.
I did start with a stand-up storytelling. Have been doing a stand-up storytelling, and then there is something unique happened to me, as happened to many of the middle-aged men in America. Like you had to go through a colonoscopy.
Oh yeah.
So I was at the colonoscopy table, and two medical students stopped by. It's a true story in Lehi. And they wanted written consent to watch my colonoscopy. Usually you just look at the form, you fill it up and this thing. And I said, wait a second. I think I'm paying the insurance. Insurance is paying the doctor and the hospital. The kids are paying the school is paying hospital. It's my ass on the line and everybody else is getting paid.
Yeah, right.
And I said, no, I'm not giving consent.
Oh, good. Good.
For free.
Yeah.
So you have to pay
There's
me.
a price tag on your ass.
Yeah, so I said you have to pay me $1 each, and my colonoscopy is now a ticketed event.
Oh, nice.
And they laughed at me, and they said why they should pay for me. They can watch, go to any other comedian and watch it for free.
Yeah.
And I said, you get what you pay for.
Yeah, right.
And then after this conversation, it was a joke, but I kind of convinced them that, do you look like I need money? But probably join me as a joke. And I said, you guys do HIPAA, all this about patient bill of rights and things like that. And here is the prime example. A patient is trying to assert his rectum viewing rights. So are you just going to laugh this as a joke?
Yeah.
Or join me in this thing and maybe you will be immortal as the first doctors to help a comedian or a human to assert his rights.
Wow.
And so they paid me $2.
General admission, just you sit wherever you want.
And so at that thing, I think that when I came home, I thought, okay, I just got paid to show my private part. Does that make me a porn actor?
Yeah.
So I don't know what happens to the porn actor, but I definitely remember after that thing, I got an infection.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Ooh. But it's not literally, more of a figuratively.
Okay.
The lifetime infection of self-confidence.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I see that when if I can monetize my colonoscopy, I could do anything in this world.
Yeah.
And
did you have a male doctor?
Yes.
Were they all male doctors?
No, there were students were one male, one female. I know the first doctor was actually female doctor. Yeah.
That changes things a little bit, doesn't it?
Not really. I don't know because I was actually, this all happened before actually colonoscopy. Once the colonoscopy started, I was under this thing, what are they put it like, I forgot the name of the medicine, so you don't even know.
Oh, yeah, I know. You drink it and it cleans you out and all that.
Yeah, so.
Well, since we're sharing, I had an internal hemorrhoid.
Okay.
And I had it checked out by a woman who was my age. And that was just weird.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay.
It's like, okay, we're doing this. You know, I mean, I'm always afraid of cancer,
sure,
you know, so
sure,
it's like, you know, so that's why I went. And my fear of that outweighed my embarrassment of having a woman my age look at my ass. And, you know, it was just a hemorrhoid. So,
the doctor part, I think earlier in my life, probably I might have the first lady doctor I met or something like that. I might have that. But over a period of time, you start realizing the doctor is a doctor.
Yeah.
And not really bothered by those things.
Yeah, I
don't know. Do they feel that way? I don't know, but
Well, it's like I have a friend that's a urologist.
Okay.
He just looks at penises all day. Yeah. Like that is weird to me.
Right.
To them, it's just a part of the body. Like, you know, the eye, like an optometrist looking at the eyeball.
Yeah.
they've studied the crap out of it so much. They've seen it every which way from Sunday that it's just, I guess, the job.
It's the job, exactly. Yeah.
I asked a proctologist once, what got you into proctology?
Yeah.
He says, there was an opening.
You have to be really.
I'm like, wow, doctor jokes.
No, you have to be actually really careful about who a doctor is, who is a proctologist, and their background, because even doctor themselves say not everybody does it for just money.
Yeah,
you don't know what kind of motivation someone has looking that deep.
My most invasive surgery was a vasectomy.
Okay.
And it was not a pleasant experience, to be honest with you. Like
Okay.
it sounds like just like one of those procedures that no one really wants to get. In fact, I learned this. Did you know that it is the most canceled and rescheduled operation in the country?
I did not know about that.
Yeah, and I found that out because when I called, I said I had to reschedule, and he said, "Of course you do. It's the most." And then they told me. I said, "Oh, really? Like you knew that was coming?" She's like, "Yeah, it's the most rescheduled surgery ever." I mean, there's like sort of like this, fear of like just jumping over and doing it.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
You probably know about that, about India's history, but there was in 1974, I believe, 74 or 76, I'm trying to remember exactly, 74, Indian Prime Minister that time, to keep her position and power, declared emergency in India.
Mm-hmm.
And so all the media, everything is all kind of banned because, whatever maybe, because that was this thing. And her son was very much against the growing population of India.
Sure.
And some of the excesses they have done while in the power, they forcefully did vasectomy for thousands of people.
Really?
Yes.
What was the qualification? Who got chosen to get the vasectomy?
Nothing. Probably they will just find out voters list, and then voter list who is young people.
Mm-hmm.
And it went to such a bad thing because they were even paying people to report somebody who doesn't have the vasectomy or things like that, and they'll just go after those. And then there were reports that some people actually got vasectomy twice.
What?
Yeah, because they were already vasectomy. But the police would say, no, your name was reported, you have to get it done again.
Oh, jeez.
And so some people, middlemen, made money in that one. And of course, there was after that election, she was no longer in power. She even had to go to jail and all that kind of a thing. But that was one of the sad story about India's democracy at one point.
Well, that is heartbreaking because you're stripping people of part of the human experience.
Yeah.
I mean, if not everyone wants to be a parent or whatever, but if you do, you should have that liberty. You should have that option. And to have it taken away from you, it sort of puts you on a different trajectory in life. Like you're just not going to have a family,
Yeah, and the word vasectomy, it's called different in Hindi. It's called nasabandi. And I heard that word long before I actually understood what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't really understood the human sexual relations and things like that. And I was in the school, but this thing came out, emergency, and there were news about people getting abducted from their homes and things like that for forceful vasectomy. So I remember one day at class during the recess, we said, okay, let us play vasectomy game. It was only all boys kind of a thing. And
this doesn't sound like a fun game.
It's a fun game. We didn't thought on. So what we'll do is that if a boy comes from the door, like 4 or 5 of us basically just hold them tightly, put it on the table, and then do some kind of a tickling to his belly and say, okay, now your vasectomy is done.
Okay.
Right? And so we were doing that kind of a thing. And suddenly what happened, there was one employee of the school who came, who was a little shorter, and we didn't realize it was a bar, this thing. We just hold him and put it there. and he didn't know what is there. And we told, your vasectomy done. He said, do you understand that? And then he told principal that this thing. So I had to go to the principal office about these things and get a lecture and all these things. And
that's how you learn.
I was reprimanded for playing some jokes, but it was harmful, fun thing. And when...
How old were you at the time?
I'm trying to remember. I was maybe 11 or 12.
Yeah, if you had recess, you were on the younger end. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's great. And that's in India.
That's in India. Yeah.
You grew up in India.
I grew up in India, yes.
When did you come to the United States?
I came to United States in 1994.
Oh,
I came with just 2 suitcases and $100 in my pocket.
man, I love these immigrant stories.
Yeah,
I've
that's our
had
story.
friends come on the show who have lived in, like, one of my best friends is my barber. He's from Uganda,
Right.
and yeah, I just like, oh, my neighbors are from Pakistan and Morocco, and just hearing their stories, like my buddy from Pakistan, he was talking about 80s pop culture so easily, just like very familiar. And I'm like, wow, I think it was about Michael Jackson or something. I'm like, wow, I mean, I knew King of Pop was a big deal, but like, you guys know that your stuff. And he's like, yeah, well, it was American. Like, that's all it's all we wanted to be was Americans.
Yeah.
I'm like, you wanted to be an American all your life? He's like, pretty much. I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
That was not the case with me, I remember, but and I don't know much about the pop culture at the time. I was very happy that way, India. And if I would have that time, might have gone to Europe, or Russia used to be India's friend and continues to be India's friend. So I might have gone there, but not necessarily I had any aspiration to come to America when I was growing up. But once I think I finished my schooling, that time the India has opened up liberalization, and a lot of American companies have started coming to India.
Yeah.
And in the software, and one of the first job I have, it was the second job actually I had, was for an American company. And the name of the company, some of your viewers might know, some don't know, because the company exists, but not. It used to be one of the big companies in America, called named Motorola.
Oh, Motorola, yeah.
So I was employee number 5 in Motorola India.
No
So I
kidding.
actually literally started Motorola India with just an empty space, renting a space, and was part of one of the early employees there.
Oh, that's cool. I for my 10th wedding anniversary, my wife and I went to Chatham. The Chatham Bar's Inn.
Chatham in Massachusetts?
Yeah, it's on the Cape.
Sure.
And there was security and just a lot of people. Just something was going on.
Sure.
It was a wedding between a guy, and the bride was the daughter of the CEO of Motorola Solutions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 1,000 people. Like, it's and at night we were going to bed, and we hear the band playing a Bruno Mars song, and then they played another Bruno Mars song, and then another Bruno Mars song, and I'm like, that's Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
They got Bruno Mars to be the band.
So,
Is that crazy?
Bruno Mars was there live there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. The next
That's
day
crazy.
I was like, that was Bruno Mars, huh? He's like, yep. I'm like, wow. Okay. How about that? Must be nice to have a lot of money,
I remember I first came to United States through Motorola as one of the employee of Motorola, because the idea was I was earlier employees where they will train in the American culture about Motorola. I go back and then grow the company, which I did.
Oh, nice.
Later,
So you were like
that.
in management.
Yeah, management. But the first time I came, I didn't even know how to drive.
Yeah.
I came to Chicago, Motorola's headquarters, and they kept us like very nice furnished apartments and everything. But I didn't know how to drive. And all of us, like we were 6 of us, none of us knew how to drive. So Motorola said, okay, if you don't drive, we will just, we cannot afford you because you are early an important employee. So we cannot just give you the car. So they gave us a limo.
Nice.
Yeah. So they gave a big stretch limo. So anywhere we wanted to go, we'll just call the limo and they will take us there. That's how it was there. So if we wanted to go to grocery, we will go to grocery. And you would see in that particular year in Chicago suburb, you will stretch limo will come from a, I think I'm trying to remember, was it Piggly Wiggly or there was another Domino's. There was a grocery store called Domino's.
Okay.
And then there were 6 Indian-looking guys who don't know where they are. They'll come out. They'll go to the grocery store, get the bags, put in the limo, and go. And people are sort of wondering, okay, why these guys are coming in limo to come to the grocery store?
Well, yeah,
I didn't know anything.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I would look at you guys going, okay, we got some big wigs in a limousine. Then I'd think, why are they carrying their own groceries? Like, if they got the limousine, you might as well have the person the what do you call it? Like a personal shopper or something.
No, yeah, I don't know. And then
But basically, it's just like a shuttling service
it's
for
a
you.
shuttling service for us.
Yeah.
We could call on demand. And then I made friends with the limo driver because we used to call the same guy most of the time.
Yeah.
And I learned driving on my own.
No kidding.
Yeah. So he taught me the driving. And
Wait. Did you learn driving with a limousine?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's how I learned because what can I can
You just driving a big stretch limousine. Like that was your practice car.
That's what my first practice car. And where would I drive this thing? So I would drive at night at Motorola's parking lot because the headquarters is quite big, like 11, 12 stories building, but the huge parking lot. And what happened the first time we did practice, suddenly the security of Motorola came around us and they didn't know why this limousine car is going around the building.
That's hilarious.
And so they asked us to get out and this thing, and I showed them I have Motorola's badge. So you're an employee? I said, yes. But why you're driving this one? Then I told them, and you are learning driving. And that's how I learned. So I learned the driving. And then on my own, I rented a car and then started going to excursion around Chicago areas and things like that.
Yeah.
And all my friends were very jealous of me. They say, okay, this guy can now drive and go on his own. And all we have to do is just sit in the limousine and get driven.
It's so funny you're complaining about, I'm stuck in this limousine. I wouldn't. I like to drive. Do you like to drive?
Not now much, but that time I used to because that was a really fun thing to do.
It's freedom, right?
It's freedom.
And that was how many years after graduating from college?
That was about 3 years from college. Yeah.
Okay, so you're in your mid-20s, living in Chicago.
Yes.
Driving around on your own.
Yeah.
In a new country. That's pretty awesome.
Right, yeah.
What kind of environment did you have living in India? Like where did you grow up in India?
I grew up multiple places in India because my father had a transfer kind of a job. He used to be an electrical inspector to check the safety of theaters or factories and all of those things to make sure that when they adhere to building code and all those kind of things. He was an expert witness for government. Like if there is any kind of somebody has an electric shock or a death, he would probably go to the courts to give
his testimony.
He will his testimony because he was considered the expert witness by this thing. So that was his job, and he never complained. So every 3 years we will change and go to a different city.
Okay.
And so I kind of no other option. Like every 3 years there is a new school, new friends, new thing. Change it again.
So almost like in the U.S. if you're like a military brat
Or
is what we would
like
call like a kid that's parents are in the military.
Correctly. It was a middle. I was like a not very rich or anything like that. It's like a middle class family.
Middle class family in India. Like what does that look like? Is it similar to middle class? So this is where I just don't know. Like I'm just the American guy that saw Slumdog Millionaire. I have like maybe 3 friends that are from India, in my lifetime, and there's really not much of a familiarity with it. I know it's a different world.
Different world. So food and everything never have to worry about that taken care of. And he was in government employee, so he was not like a private sector. So government employee. So there was a steady income, but it was not like very high and things like that. So your clothing would be provided, like maybe a couple of pant shirts or maybe 3-4 pant shirts per year. Food, nothing have to worry about. Live in a rented flat usually. Sometimes it could be our own depending on the city, or sometimes it will be a quarter provided by government.
I got you.
So I remember all my life I lived in a rented house, and even my father, when retired, he bought his own condo or something like that, and then he moved in. But by the time I already gone to the college. And so I never, for my life, actually owned anything for a very, very long time. So I remember first time I bought my house in Lexington, and I wanted to hang a picture on the wall. And the first thought came me, because my mind has been trained, would the owner approve this?
Yeah, and you're like, I am the owner.
And then it took me, but I am the owner. Oh, wow. But that was the time I felt, okay, now I can put picture whenever I want.
Sure. Yeah, no, it makes sense that you rent if you're going to be transient like that every couple of years.
Yeah,
and then you got a great education, right? You became an engineer.
I became an engineer.
What kind of engineer?
I did my master's in the thermal and fluid engineering. It's a branch of mechanical engineering.
Okay.
and I was lucky enough to get in a good school in India, and then came here.
Wow.
And then here I did some work, and then also I tried to go into the school here, but I did not finish. I dropped out of the college here.
Okay. But you still have your master's.
I still have master's, so
Yeah.
I could have got the second master's. Instead of that, I just I actually finished the school. I just didn't get the grade. So that's a story I'll tell some other time. We can touch base later.
Now that's funny because I think culturally, Indian culture puts an emphasis on family and education.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
So, what were your parents disappointed that you didn't go for that second?
Of course.
It's like so having a bachelor's degree and having one master's degree wasn't enough. They were like, you need to go for two, or
They didn't. I chose on my own because I had actually dreamed to study in that university. I always felt I wish I could go to that school, and that would be my kind of one of the lifetime dream to study in that school.
Oh, yeah.
And finally finished that, but I just don't have the diploma there. I dropped out. I dropped out of Harvard.
Harvard?
Yes.
I've heard of that. Nice school. You know what though? That's kind of a flex. Dropping out. You know how many famous, successful people have dropped out of Harvard? It's. I would kind of look at it as, you know what?
I'm just delusional.
I was too busy. I had other things to do. I didn't have time for this Harvard stuff, so I moved on.
It is actually a funny story. It's funny but true story. Zuckerberg and I have got a thing going on. He doesn't know me, but it's kind of a thing. like if you think about this way, like if you do a stupid thing like dropping out of Harvard,
Sure.
right? And then you become a billionaire.
Yep.
The word stupidity loses its value.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have that punch because this thing. And
Same with the term dropout.
yeah.
Like I laugh at that. I mean, you know, you went to Harvard. That means just you've been vetted. You're already very smart.
But
you know.
thing is, so what started happening, people are afraid to call their kids stupid because say, okay, who knows? These guys can turn out to be billionaire. I don't want to be kind of left out.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, me and some of my friends were having like just as a fun kind of thing. Okay, we said, okay, somebody need to follow the exact steps that Zuckerberg did, but not become a billionaire.
Sure.
Then people will realize, okay, that is what normalcy is about. Because everybody thinks, oh, dropping out of the college, then they become startup founder, and then they become this thing. So I said, okay, let me take the challenge as a fun thing.
Yeah.
And so I got into Harvard Extension School I did.
Uh-huh.
And then at Harvard, I started a social network called mybully.com. It's a social network for
Did you
people.
really?
Yes.
Royal Pizza serves up the freshest pizza, subs, dinner platters, and salads in town. They use only the most wholesome and natural ingredients. Dough made fresh several times a day. Sauces and dressings made daily in-store. Each pizza is carefully prepared to order. Royal Pizza makes quality food fast and affordable for all of their customers. Maybe that's why they've been in business for more than 60 years. For the best pizza and lowest prices in town, come visit Royal Pizza or order online at royalpizza.com.
This is a true story.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're like taking this challenge seriously.
Seriously, yeah. And it's a social network for the people who speak my language called Marathi. So it is like a Facebook for people who speak Marathi.
Mm-hmm.
I still own significant portion of the company. So at that point, then he dropped out of Harvard, I knew, so I dropped out of Harvard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I continue to focus on my social network. I could only reach up to 4.7 million people.
Did you really?
Yes.
Is it still active?
Yeah, still
No
active.
kidding.
Yeah. But
Wow.
there are other things that happen. But then he become billionaire and I become stand-up comedian.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you have a more enriching life.
I
You
have
know.
this thing. But one thing that happened as a part of that now, if there is a high school kid tries to talk to their parents saying, okay, hey, mom and dad, why can't I drop out of college?
Mm-hmm.
You will look at the Zuckerberg. He even become billionaire. So
Yeah.
why I couldn't do? And the parents didn't know how to answer all these things. But now they have example. They can say, that guy, Ajay G, he also dropped out of Harvard. Now he become a stand-up comedian. Are you stupid?
Yeah.
So I made stupidity great again.
That's funny. What do your parents think about you doing stand-up comedy?
unfortunately, my parents have already passed away.
Oh, okay.
When
Well, I'm
I
sorry to hear
started
that.
doing stand-up comedy.
Oh, okay.
I was doing stand-up storytelling, so they were a little bit aware of that. My mom passed away long time ago, so she wasn't aware of that. But my father knew a little bit about it, but they never saw me performing or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I think of an engineer, I think of a analytical minded. My wife has a degree in chemical engineering, and we're not the same kind of person. I'm more, I don't know. I don't really plan for much. I just kind of wake up and I do stuff, but she's got lists and she's organized. She's a great scheduler, analytical thinker, problem solver. Not the funniest person. I don't think of engineers as like a breeding ground of humorous people.
No. We are very much. You just haven't come across, or probably their sense of humor is slightly different than you are used to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your comedy is not, niche engineer kind of comedy. It's clean comedy, which is good.
Yeah.
And it's, I would say, you're a storyteller, comedian. That's probably the genre I put you under, a storyteller. And it's relatable. And if it's not relatable, you're going along for the ride. It's so what got you into comedy? I know that it was the colonoscopy.
Sure.
But like you always thought you had, like, you were always making people laugh growing up?
Not really. That's what I was trying to do. So that incident really made me think through. But what I used to do, I used to draw cartoons. When I was in the school, I had some cartoons published in the local newspaper in India, and then used to draw a lot of cartoons in technology. And so, thank you for saying I have relatable jokes and things like that. But I used to have some jokes which would probably relate to engineers, and I would still love to make a comedy for engineers, but I don't get an opportunity. I have to get opportunity in front of a regular audience, so I try to not use those engineering jokes.
Yeah, sure.
But that is something I aspire to. If I get a chance, maybe there is a I'm part of a Techstars startup community. I have been their mentor at about 10 years now. So sometimes I do perform shows for startups and things like that. And
that's great.
That is only they would probably understand and love those kind of things. It's a niche.
Yeah, and they would appreciate the fact that this stand-up comic knows our language, knows our our careers and what we do. Do you ever do any corporate work?
I have been started doing corporate work for the last couple of years now.
Because I feel like if you were going to these engineering kind of places, that would be a good niche for you.
Right, and that
you're
is
a specialist.
Yes, I would love to do more of those. I do not have enough material because I don't get a chance to try it out different materials in front of corporate audiences.
Yeah, that's right.
That is the thing that is holding me. So I have only about 20 minutes of material, and I usually need to have at least an hour. But I'm working on it, writing out, because I don't have any aspiration to be a nightclub comedian or anything like that, or be late night TV, but I do wanted to be a corporate comedian. There is a guy called Don McDougall. I'm trying to remember. He's one of my. I aspire to be like him.
Okay.
He's one of the biggest corporate comedian in America.
Yeah, and it pays well.
Yes,
it pays exponentially, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times more, it seems like.
Probably. Maybe more than that.
Yeah, all my friends that do the corporate stuff, it's like, it's a windfall, What about doing things like traveling around, doing something for the troops or cruise ships, or do you have any like goals that are just sort of like adventure based, like, I would like to do a cruise ship just to do it? Or
I might do the cruise ship. I have been thinking about it, but you need to have almost like 3 hours of material, I was told, to do the cruise ship. And I'm not there yet, but ultimately probably I might do that. 3 hours of clean material, because you probably do a show at one time, and then second show same day, and another show another week. But the same audience is in the cruise ship and they might come. So they insist that you need to have that much kind of a material so that you could do that. I have already performed in now 8 countries.
Yeah, I saw that it's Singapore.
I have performed in Canada, USA, of course, then Indonesia, Singapore, uh, India, West Indies, and now Aruba.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Nice. English all the time, or do you?
English.
Yeah.
English. I just started dabbling into my mother tongue recently in
Mhm.
India, but it's slightly, very, very, not slightly, it is quite different because the language, if the grammar and the language structure is different, then the same way you write your jokes and the structure doesn't always work.
Okay.
The concept of humor might work, like conflicting things, sarcasm, and things like that, but to the mechanism of that, it's completely different. And I grew up in my own mother tongue, and I have seen some really, really stalwarts of comedy growing up in my mother tongue language.
Mhm.
And so I find it, okay, the bar is so high for me. It's so intimidating to do comedy in my own language.
So there is a comedy scene in India.
There is a comedy scene in India which was used to be very much comedic storytelling.
Yes.
It was not like a typical stand-up that you do in American culture. American stand-up comedy, when I was growing up, was considered very, very rude.
Rude.
Very rude.
Yeah.
Very arrogant, rude, because you could say anything, and it was very much differently thought that time. It is actually changing now. It is completely different now, but that time. And I grew up in lots of very stalwarts of comedic storytelling.
Yeah. Did Indian culture look at some of these earlier stand-up comics as, look down at them, like this is inappropriate, or did they love it?
No, this was like a different type of thing. So, for example, anything which is dirty was considered bad in India that time.
Okay.
Not now. Now it is completely Americanized.
Sure.
And this thing, but there was a time. So, for example, we would love Richard Pryor. I don't think I might have seen that much, maybe one or two, but Eddie Murphy was very, very famous. And Eddie Murphy's would be considered really good stand-up comedy, except for some of his maybe swear he would do, but some of the jokes was there. Who else we could? Robin Williams and all those things. Robin Williams came much later, but who was there? Other I'm trying to remember. But as long as it's a clean comedy, Indian audience used to love that. Now it is a completely different. Right now in India, it's a golden age of comedy. So comedy in India is right now what comedy used to be is 90s in US.
Okay. So they're kind of catching up.
They are catching up. It is a next big thing. Part of it is because so many people are there, they think comedy means just talking dirty.
Yeah.
And that is not really good. But it goes this thing, like if I go to an open mic in India, I would see, I remember at least 2 or 3 open mics ago, there were easily, for open mic, free show, there were easily like 80 to 100 people.
Yeah, no
real
kidding.
audience, yeah.
Oh, a real audience.
Real audience.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. And some of them, even some open mics were ticketed and they will come and want to see those things.
That's always nice to have a real audience member, real people, non-comics
Yeah.
in the audience, because they're going to get an authentic reaction.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're paying attention. They want to laugh. They want to have a good time. It's the closest thing you could have to doing a show. Do you still do open mics?
I do still.
Yeah.
I love open mics, and I do go there because I need to write new material, need to try it out and things like that. So I do that.
What's your writing process?
One of the things that I learned earlier, and that really will change my perspective of writing about, is that there is a creator within all of us and there is a judge or critic inside us.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to separate those out, because when you are doing creatively, the judge will say, this is not good enough, this is not good enough, and things like that. And if you just don't good enough, then the creator will do whatever it is want and nobody will laugh at that. So I try to, first of all, try to capture my ideas on my smartphone whenever I can. Just tidbit of this thing, and then
You mean like going in your notes?
go in the notes on the
Sure.
phone, just
Okay.
write whatever I comes to mind. And
Yep.
then I probably 2 or 3 times per week, I don't do every day, 2 or 3 times per week, I sat for, like, I put a timer and just dump whatever is coming to my mind at that point. And sometimes I use whatever those ideas I have on my notes as a prompt, writing prompt. Okay, this is the idea.
Yep.
The premise hasn't yet come up or anything like that. It could be a premise, but see whatever is come there without any thing about it, and I find it sometimes difficult. English is not my first language, so I do not know the proper words and things like that, but I had to capture the sense. And then not that time I make a point. So for example, if I do this in the morning, then I have bring my critic in the afternoon, enough time, and then go through my previous writing and saying, oh, this looks like to be a much more better joke, better setup. Can I add it more? Can you make it better? Can you add more taglines? And then you go through the process about typical stand-up comedy.
Yeah,
I take classes sometimes, stand-up comedy classes, online, offline, read books, various these things, and try to go those things.
So it starts with free writing.
Starts with free writing.
Just whatever's on my mind, just get stuff on paper.
It is not even funny. Sometimes it could be serious. Sometimes it could be completely abstract without worrying about it. And that was the key part to just getting writing.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like it's disciplined. You have a set structure. I like how you will write in the morning and then you'll put it aside, separate yourself from it, and then you come back with the critic hat on. Last week we had Carolyn Plummer on, and we were joking about how ridiculous our notes on our phones are, because we will like, oh, I got a great idea. It's like, how inspiration sparks and you're like, oh, before I forget, which you have to write down, right? You ever say, oh, I'll remember that? You won't remember it, right? Yeah. So you get out the phone, you jot down some notes, you write the premise, maybe a tag or two that you thought would work, and then you put the phone away, and then a week later or whatever, you come back to it and you go, what the hell is this? This is the dumbest thing I've ever read,
Yeah, but sometimes that dumbest thing, okay, can I make it dumber? Like I look at it, this is the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
But can I make it dumber? Can I make it add more this thing? Can I do extreme? Can I do, if this is not funny, can I make it extreme not funny?
Yeah,
and
sure.
then the fun comes out. And also, I do not know about you, many times some of the good ideas I come in the shower. So while taking a shower, the idea come, I have to get out of the shower, and the first thing I'll just write a note on my phone saying, okay, this is the idea that came in, otherwise I will lose it.
I know a headliner in Boston that actually has a marker board in his shower.
Okay.
Because of that exact reason. Just inspiration strikes in the shower, and you got to write it down. He writes it down real quick.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I get it from walking my dog or getting some exercise. Once I get the heart rate up and going, and my brain is kind of like just free, it just sort of wanders into funny, amusing places. Or mundane tasks like cleaning the garage or, washing my car or, because I feel like that's just your brain, you can kind of turn it off. You're not really focused on it.
I always admire people who could do that, because I wish if that happens, then I could get a lot of my mundane tasks. Because when I'm doing mundane tasks, I'm not in that funny state, and the funny thought just doesn't come to me.
No kidding.
I have to be in that, the creator has to be in the funny kind of a thing. And so I really, if you can do it, mundane stuff and be funny, nothing like that.
Yeah, well, funny's subjective. I think the stuff that pops into my head is funny, but that's great. Let's speaking on the writing. What are some of your favorite literary devices? Like you were talking about making something more absurd, like exaggeration or hyperbole. What else do you like to use? You referenced sarcasm.
Many times I have imaginary ideas. So. I'm a storyteller, so stories is one part of it. I probably start with a story. Many of those jokes started with a story, and then I go back and started, okay, can I punch it up and add more jokes and things like that? Because I started career as a storyteller, so always the story is easier for me and doing, and not just doing all those things. And then I think about in abstract. If this happened, what if that happened? And then what if that go to the extreme, what can happen? And the part I loved about comedy, the storytelling, as I started, used to be based on reality, because all my stories were true stories, even though there is a fun part and things like that. It is, but comedy gave me an idea. The story doesn't have to be true now anymore. It could be completely imaginary.
So do all of your stories, are they based off some truth?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
so they start from truth and then they can just go sideways from there.
So the storytelling format, you need to have a true story in a first person. It cannot be somebody else's story. It needs to be your own story It need to be true story. You are allowed to have some editorial freedom to stretch truth a little bit or make the what you call mountain from the molehill, as they call.
Sure.
And that is okay. But there has to be some truth.
Yeah.
And that also limit you, because I remember like I had to write a story, but I don't have a real story and I couldn't do that one. But comedy gave me that freedom. This is stand-up comedy. The thing doesn't have to happen. I can just come up with a totally weird thing.
Sure.
And then you could write that. One of my bit is about being a certified yoga teacher. That I teach yoga to dogs. Right? And then I came
Do
up
you
with
really? What's the truth in that?
So what is the truth in that is that when there is a thing called doga.
Okay.
You could
It's a
look
real
up
thing.
online, it's a real thing, and there are doga classes and things like that. There are books on doga to show dogs doing yoga, this thing. And I said, I do not know is it true or they're written as a parody, but there are multiple books and classes there. And so I said, okay, let me become a certified doga teacher. And so I said, I'm a doga teacher now. I teach I teach yoga to dogs. And level 1, I teach them to be vegan.
Yeah.
Because that's where you go, next step.
Yeah, sure. Like there's a progression. This is a lifestyle, guys.
Yes.
It's fun. I've heard of goat yoga, where you do yoga amongst goats.
Right.
I don't know.
So those are different things. So that is different than the doga, because there is a goat yoga, there is a lemur yoga. That means all of those sheep yoga. That means humans do the yoga.
Yeah.
And these animals just roam around you.
Yeah, they're the companions.
They're companions.
Yeah.
So. But in case of doga, it is actually the dog who does the yoga.
I don't think dogs ask for this.
And then I come up with the premise: if the dog is doing yoga, he or she probably does not like the downward facing dog.
Yeah, right.
Because they say, I'm already a dog. Why should I become a downward facing dog?
Yeah, this is appropriation.
Yeah.
Called a downward human or something like that.
They probably a dog wanted to do a maybe sideways facing Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. That's great. When you write, because you're a storyteller, stories work when they have detail. When you're showing the person reading or listening the experience, not just telling them, but the descriptions. Let them paint the picture in their head. But stand-up comedy, it's set up, punch,
right?
Tag, next joke. You got to cut a lot of fat off. Is that hard for you to do?
It is hard for me because now it is getting better and better. But that's how, because my first stand-up used to be like a story, and I will try to tell rather than be there, and then it will have lot of fluff thing about adjectives and making people aware, creating the picture. But it is actually stand-up helped me become a better storyteller, because now I can get to the story much faster.
Get to the point.
I can still get to the point and can still create the picture. But one of the insight I had, I'm trying to remember, I think I saw a podcast by Dean. He's a stand-up comedian in New York, and he has really great Instagram and YouTube videos. You should look into that. He says many of the people who came from the corporate world or from Toastmaster, I used to be in Toastmaster.
Yeah, I was too.
All of those things. We tend to be talking heads.
Yeah.
So our stand-up initially, and mine is still there, is more of a hearing a podcast or radio show.
Yep.
We don't use all the facilities given by God to us. Like, we do not create a movie. And the key thing for us to become a better comedian and the presence, it not just being one-dimensional of only the audio portion or your voice. Can you use your act outs? Can you use your mannerism? Can you use tone? And make it from a podcast to a movie. And being a storyteller, now I could see, okay, I'm trying to create that picture here. How could I do all of those things? I'm not just going to because if you just have one-line jokes, then also you become more like a talking head. You do not create the picture, like there is no connection.
Yeah, right.
But having a story makes you become a better stand-up comedian, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with the Moth, but I know you've done some Moth performances. What?
I have been a
that's
Moth
storytelling
Grand Slam champion. I have been
where
Boston.
in New York City? Do you go?
No, Boston.
Oh, Boston. Okay.
Yeah, I have been, I think, 2 times perform in the Moth Grand Slam, and trying to remember the same. That means I have been champion that many number of times. One times I just was a kind of a guest last minute thing that they couldn't find someone. So
Yeah, and then lastly, okay, so that's your storytelling. You embark on that endeavor, and then you win the slams. But then it was stand-up comedy just last year. You won, was it like the North Shore comedy? Or
I
what was
won the funniest person in Merrimack Valley competition.
Merrimack, that's right.
Before that, last year I also won another competition, like Tight 5 competition at Laugh Boston. I won that.
Oh, nice.
And I was the runner-up for one-line comedy madness in Boston.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, I saw who you were going against, James Hamilton.
Yes.
I just think that guy is hilarious.
No, he's really great.
And you beat him.
No, I think I was just fortunate there, I would say, because the other two people, James Hamilton and Ethan Cannon, amazing comedian. I loved them. They are really great. And if anyone get to see any one of them, you should go and see them.
Sure.
They are amazing, my good friends.
Yeah.
And I think either of us could have won. I probably got lucky. Probably I was the last one and they remembered me. I don't know. But
yeah, cool.
But I felt good that when I was able to compete with them.
Oh, yeah, sure. Like you're in good company. Win or lose.
Yeah.
It's like sort of like you're on that shelf.
On that shelf.
Right?
Correct,
Those are the people that you're amongst.
Correct.
And that, I think that's always, like, I'm self-aware. I always look around. I'm like, who am I? Where's the pack I'm in? I'm always trying to get better. And all right. So I think we've talked plenty of comedy. What do you do for fun? What's your outlet besides comedy? Do you...
comedy is the outlet. It's somehow taking too much of my time.
Okay, so you're totally committed. You're all in on this.
Comedy. I do comedy full time. I still help with my startup, social network. I spend time on that whenever I can.
Yeah,
find
that's
it.
cool.
That is still going on. But comedy is I think somebody said that there is a proverb, comedy is a really bad mistress. Once she knows you, she wants every time you this, and that's what happens. Of course, I work out, yoga, all those kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Travel around the world.
What about sports? Are you a sports fan? Soccer?
No.
Cricket?
Not much. I used to be, in the school, I used to play badminton.
Yeah.
Back in India. Here, I play occasionally just for fun and watch probably baseball. Baseball I love. Of course, when you are in the Boston, all the New England Patriots, everybody, all those things, you become...
Do you watch the Patriots every Sunday?
Not every Sunday. Usually, most of these things I do when there is a playoff happening or towards somebody's winning. That time I get introduced that way.
Yeah, sure. I always find it tough doing a show like on a night when the Patriots are playing and the TV's on in the other room. Anyway.
About the sports, there's one funny thing happened. I grew up in a small town called Aurangabad in India. And, the rest of the India is obsessed with the game of cricket. Cricket is huge.
Sure. It's not your national sport?
Actually, it is as big as or bigger than NFL here. In terms of crowd, it is way bigger than that.
Yep.
But in my town, the kids in my town, for some reason, grew up playing baseball. Only in that small town, like a 10-mile radius, everybody there were 3 schools. We, during the recess, will play baseball, not cricket. And I don't know, who knows? We didn't know any books. There is nothing, but every school has the baseball kit.
Yeah.
And we just played baseball. And nobody knows how that happened. Only the moment you go outside that 10-mile radius, nobody has even heard about baseball.
Yeah, that's funny. There must have been some American along the way that emigrated to India, introduced it, and was pro
water maybe, and nobody knows about it. Yeah.
Sure. I always laugh at like the Japanese love baseball so much, and it's like they're now, what would you call it? Like a breeding ground of talent, in the major leagues. Like the Shohei Ohtani, the best player in baseball is from Japan. It's who would have known? It's when you
really
share.
Yeah, and I remember like even if we didn't know the rules. The rules I learned like a 5th grader will learn from a 6th grader.
Yeah.
So like I'm in the 4th grade and I'm playing baseball, and if there is a problem or a dispute, we'll find who is the next grade. Okay, we'll go and ask them what's the rule, and then we'll play the baseball like that.
Well, I feel like baseball and cricket have they're not the same sport.
They're not the same sport. Yeah. They just use both bat and ball, but they are not.
But they got a field, they got a bat, they got a
Totally
ball.
different. Yeah.
You run when you hit the ball.
But there is a different number of players playing and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's sometimes you flip channels and you see cricket and it's like that looks, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what they're doing.
I used to feel the same way watching American football.
Yeah.
I didn't know what's happening, why they're fighting each other, and they call it a football, but they throw with the hand. I felt the same way at some point. But you learn.
Yeah. You know, football, when it started out, they didn't pass the ball. It was just running plays the whole time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And I learned about this at the Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. But it was just a running game. And then one coach one day just conferred with the rule book and said, there's no rules against throwing the ball.
Huh.
And so they threw the ball, and to, you know, a lot of confusion and contesting, you know, hey, you can't do that. And it's like, yeah, you can. And then people are like, okay, we're throwing the ball now. And the sport's so much better. I mean,
But isn't that game very, very similar to the English game of rugby?
yeah.
There's a line of scrimmage, and then you try to move the ball from one place to another. It's
Yeah.
very similar to rugby.
Yeah, although rugby, it's lateral passes, you know, and you throw behind you,
Okay.
right, where you can't throw it forward.
Sure.
So, yeah, but no, I'm a big football fan. What are you doing this summer? Anything fun? What do you...
Summer, haven't yet planned completely, but I'm in the process of doing a tour in Europe.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so I basically just go to different countries and try to connect social media to the clubs and things like that. See, I can get a spot on their shows. And if I got enough of those, I just go in that country and roam around and probably get more sometimes. And if not, I enjoy the whatever the country I'm in.
Well, that's going back to what you were saying about comedy. It's like the mistress that takes all your time. So even when you travel
Yeah.
and go on vacation, it's sort of centered on...
It's about business and pleasure. It is not only business.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the pleasure and see around and things like that. But comedy lets me do both, right? You could basically do this thing. One of my best time I remember, and I will probably definitely go there, is a country of Indonesia, and specifically Bali.
Oh, yeah,
It's
sure.
an amazing place, and I never thought the English comedy is such a great there. The living there is very cheap.
Is it really?
It's very cheap. So I remember I tried all, like the cheapest place to the expensive place. So the cheapest place I lived was at a homestay, $10 per night, including taxes and breakfast.
Yeah.
Then there was a guest tree house I lived for a few nights, $25 per night.
Wow.
And 5-star hotel was like $70-$80 per night.
Some of these, is it tropical? Bali, you call it tropics?
It's a tropical country. It's an island. So
Yeah.
and it's very big for yoga and wellness. So in the morning, you go to your yoga class, you get up, have a nice breakfast. During the day, you go to a beach,
Yeah.
have a nice seafood on the beach. Evening, do a comedy. And night, just go to a house.
When you're in a place like that, doesn't it make you sort of reflect? That's what's great about travel. You know, it's you kind of reflect on things. And like I was in Costa Rica, and it's very similar to what you were talking about. Inexpensive to live. In fact, I was eyeballing a rental property for $500 a month, and this thing was palatial, and it was on the ocean. And the laws are, you know, if you're not from Costa Rica, like a U.S. citizen, you can live there, but every 3 months you need to leave the country for 3 days.
Probably, yeah.
So a lot of times you would see just off, you know, at nighttime, you'd see boats, you know, maybe a mile or two out with all the lights on at night, and they're just hanging out.
Yeah.
So it's like someone will take you out in a boat for 3 days. You know, international waters, I guess, maybe it's farther than that. But you're just kind of kicking back on a boat for 3 days, and then you come back. And I just thought, wow. And I met a lot of Americans that were doing that.
I have met a lot of just not Americans. I have seen people from all over the world doing those things, and they are living the dream. And I said, why not? Like, I don't think I will do that, but I see right now I can travel And so during the winter months, I nowadays make a point that I don't want to be in Boston.
Sure.
I rather can go somewhere tropical country, and now I could do, why not, right?
What do you think of the Boston winters? Those are pretty awful, huh?
I living in Boston for 30 years now.
Yeah.
You won't know that from my accent, but,
Yeah.
I never really got adjusted to Boston winter.
Yeah.
I love summer here.
Yeah.
Winter is something, and the comedy here happens unfortunately in winter, I feel, but I'd still make a point to go somewhere else in the.
Yeah, you have to. You have to refresh and rejuvenate
Right.
and see new things. Where in Europe do you plan on going on this
So
European
right
trip?
now I'm planning to go mainly in Germany because I didn't know, but I heard that Berlin and Frankfurt, Berlin probably has a lot of good English comedy scene, which I had no idea about that.
Yeah, Germany, the home of comedy. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, there's a
I
lot of
d-
English comedy happening, and nobody thought that will be.
Yeah,
Because maybe there is nothing else. German laugh at it. They are laughing at English comedy.
that's funny
So
because I
I'm-
feel like Germans are probably have the least senses of humor.
No, I have some friends in Germany who live there right now, and
Yeah.
they are showing me some of the German humor. It is a great humor. You just need to get understandable.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There was a March Madness comedy contest this year that was won by a guy that immigrated from Germany.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I get it. Like, and he's funny. I mean, I
he's
was
funny, yeah.
watching him, and I'm like, this guy's he's good, you know. But yeah, Germany is not necessarily like a place where
You would think
I would
there is a
ass-
comedy. Yes.
Yeah, like British comedy, British humor, like
Sure.
that is well known.
Yeah.
You know, that's a thing. It's
That's a
like
thing,
it's its own kind of
Absolutely.
style almost, right? What they laugh at and how they tell a story.
I just have visited London few times and being there. So I have never been to Germany. So I said, okay, now I can see a different country and see if I can get comedy. And even if I don't get any comedy shows, actually, I probably still go
Yeah.
and maybe do some open mic. We'll
Sure,
see.
sure.
Yeah.
So to get on these shows, what do? You just look up clubs and send an email with a tape, or
Yeah, so I basically look up these places on the social media. I reach out the comedians in those cities and ask them their opinion. How should I get a show and what is there, and send them the tape. Sometimes they work really well. Sometimes they don't.
yeah,
Right, and that's okay. I mean, I first started doing my international one was in Canada because that was you could just drive there, and what I found out surprisingly was I had a few political jokes and things like that, and Canadian people know everything about what's happening in America. They know all the jokes. They know about our political system, personalities, and things like that. And whatever my set was actually did really well in Toronto.
yeah.
And that was kind of thing. Oh, okay, maybe I can do international, and that's how I started going to other countries.
Nice. I did a comedy festival in Toronto, and I felt like I was still in the United States.
Yeah,
It was a very, I don't know if they would appreciate this, but it felt like an American city. It just not. I didn't feel like I was in a foreign country. You know, I think it helps that everyone's speaking English, but then just all of our like a Starbucks is right there, and all the familiar stuff. It just was yeah. So
but it's an art which I think started with France and then now grew up. I mean, become really big in America, in New York, Catskill area. That's what I heard about it. But different countries have different flavors, different ways of thinking. I was in Philippines for a significant amount of time, almost like 2 weeks, and there is a city there called Cebu, a very beautiful city. And I went to the Cebu Comedy Club there, and I wanted to perform. And they said, yeah, sure, you do. We will give you a spot and things like that. But I found out there in that at least particular comedy club, only people do the comedy who are in a drag dress. So even if you are a man, you have to dress up as a woman. Or if you are a woman, you have to dress up as a man, and then you perform.
no kidding.
Which is I have not seen. And I said, no, that is not something I would probably do. I didn't perform there because that is the social norm there. That's how we do comedy, at least in that particular club. It was not a drag club or anything like that, but that's how, I do not know it is the same thing in other part of Philippines.
Yeah.
But that was very unique, I thought.
Yeah. It's interesting to. Well, it's good that you knew about that before you went? You know, like
I found out accidentally because I wanted to see some act before,
yeah.
and then I found out this one. And I remember in Indonesia, there was a sometimes they are going through very difficult times, which we won't understand. But there is a rest of the Indonesia is Muslim country, and only the Bali is a Hindu, which is much more liberalized. So the comedians in Bali are always afraid there might be some official coming up from the other parts of the country, and then they will censor them or they will get arrested. They are always worried about that, but still they are brave enough to do and talk about anything about government and things like that. So
see, that's one of the things we take granted for, like with the freedom of speech.
Freedom of the speech, it's a very big freedom we have, and it is not there in almost every country. In fact, I feel sad it started happening in India nowadays, that there are some comedians who were critical of the government or some of the figures, they were jailed. Or if not jailed, there will be a huge backlash, they will get cancelled or things like that, and especially people will come after you and make your life difficult if your opinion is against. So freedom of speech, and especially when I started doing a comedy, I became far more aware of those things than I was before.
Yeah, it's the First Amendment. I mean, it's the first thing that we, built this country on when we, started making our laws, was freedom of speech. It's crazy to think that I could say something and end up in jail for it. Anyway, that's always one of those eye-opening things I always try to remember, because we got it pretty good. I don't know if you've seen this. We can end on this too, but with the World Cup, we had a lot of people from Scotland in Boston, and I just love looking at these videos of people from other countries that are here for the World Cup, and they're blown away by some of the great things. I saw this one French guy. He's like, "Oh, we say we got the best food, but whoever's a Frenchman who says that has never had Texas brisket." He's like, "Oh, I would," and he's just going off on how much he loves Texas brisket.
Wow. Okay.
Other people, I forget what country they were from, but they just loved Waffle House.
Nice.
I'm like, Waffle House, whatever floats your boat,
Yeah.
There was a family or a husband and wife that were walking through. They had an Airbnb in a neighborhood in I guess Georgia or Alabama. I don't know why they were there, but they're walking through. They're like, "Look at this. This is not what you would stereotypically think of Alabama. These houses have nice yards and they're big, and and people are friendly. It's like hello, and they're like hi.
That's not the image of America they had, probably because of the media and other things.
Yeah, it's just too bad. It's too bad that, and I love the way that we. I can only speak for Boston, but we are treating our visitors like gold. We're letting them do their thing. They're running, they're taking over the city. They're going on with their bagpipes and their parades and their marches.
Boston has been always a great city to welcome immigrants. I'm very grateful for Boston because it is my home now, but I'm very welcome to the freedom that America has given to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have thrived. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Not maybe rest of the country may not be like that always.
Yeah, right. So I mean, the Northeast, Boston has been good to you.
Right.
You ever want to live anywhere else? Do you ever have an idea of when I retire, I'll move somewhere else?
Yes and no. Every winter, I feel, okay, I don't want to live in Boston. I will go to a warmer country, warmer place.
Yeah.
And as soon as the summer starts, I said, I don't want to go anywhere. This is the best place.
Yeah, it is.
So just the temperature, I do not. So now I found out a way, okay, I make a point to go outside Boston during the winter, and more time I could do, and so get the best of the both worlds.
Yeah, I mean, it's popular to go to Florida. People will have their Florida house. I'm not a big Florida fan. It's humid. Alligators, bugs. I like the desert, going out to Arizona or Utah. Have you ever been out there?
I have been to Utah, not really much, just probably Salt Lake City, but not really ventured. Been to Phoenix and Sedona area. I loved that area. Then I have been to multiple states. I'm trying to remember. Loved South California.
Oh, yeah.
Used to be Florida a few times. But I realized the world is for us. Why just focus on one country when there are so much things to do?
Yeah.
And I kind of decided that, okay, I don't want it to have another house or anything like that, because then I will be restricted to that place only.
I got you.
I rather wanted to not worry about those things
Yeah.
and just see the world. And that way I can go to a different country, different city every winter.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yep.
that's how I said, I looked into some Florida real estate and things like that. I said, no longer. Boston is the place, and that's the only thing. And if I need to go, I can always go anywhere in the world.
You're what I would call a cosmopolite. You
Probably.
you just like that international travel and culture, and Florida ain't it. Like
No, it
that's
has its own culture. There is nothing wrong in that. I love
Yeah.
the culture. It's a great weather, great city. Cities, there is a great entertainment there. And
Yeah.
I would love to go there.
Yeah.
I just no longer see a home outside Boston any longer.
I got you. Yeah. When I travel, I try not to go to the same place because it's like we've already been there. There's so many other things to see.
See the world, yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Life is short, so
Yeah, no, I like that. It's a good perspective. Is there okay? So we got to wrap it up. Is there anything you want to plug? Any shows coming up that you want to?
right now, no. I wish I had
Projects?
figured out my trip in Europe, and I could have done that one, but that has not been done yet, and I don't know how long will it take. So there is nothing right now happening. The project-wise, I have created recently and getting a good success somewhere. I created a fake company.
A fake company
Fake company.
for what purpose?
So AI is everywhere,
Yeah.
right? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry
Can't
says they are
escape it.
They are saying they are in AI.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually changed my name and got the domain name to ajayg.ai.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, AI stands for Angry Indian. So I have been working in the startup field for a while, and I have been on the actually startup competition, being a judge or helping and mentor and investor on the other side of this one. So now what I do is I created a pitch as this fake company, ajayg.ai. That's my routine. And I go to these stand-up competitions and talk to the people saying, okay, hey, let me give the pitch. And they said, you are on this side? You should be on this side. I said, no. I just let me hear that one. It is a fun thing. Let me go last. And my whole routine now about this startup is this pitch that created for the fake company.
Yeah.
And ajayg.ai. And
Angry Indian.
Angry
That's funny.
Indian, so.
Very unique. Clever. All right. Well, guys, thanks for listening or watching another episode of Stand Up Scuttlebutt. For Ajay G, I'm Rick Fink. See you next week.